Now we will start the learning outcome 1.3, and we are going to talk briefly about the major organ system. The first of one is the integumentary system that's composed by our skin, hair, sweat glands, and nails. The functions of the integumentary system is to protect, because the integumentary system is the outermost layer, so it's one of the biggest organ systems that we have. It protects our body against any environmental hazard, for example, burning, temperature change, or chemical abrasion, shock. Also, the integumentary system helps to regulate body temperature, because biggest part of the integumentary system is composed by body fat, and fat is a great uh, temperature isolation. Also, because we have sweat glands, we have this hair and other glands in our body, it provides us with sensory information. We have nervous terminations close by our skin that are sensitive to pressure, touch, and temperature changes. Our skeletal system, which is composed by our bones, cartilage, associated ligaments, and the bone marrow, which supports and protects our tissues, because um, the bones, they work as an armor for our body. They are the hardest and strongest organs, so they protect our soft organs and the other tissues in our body. The skeletal system also stores calcium in the bones and also other minerals that are important for the regulation of the homeostasis. In the bone marrow, we also have the formation of new blood cells. Our muscular system is composed by our muscles and all the associated tendons. We have different types of muscles, but all of them have very specific functions. Some of the functions of the muscular system is to provide movement. The interaction between bones and muscles, it causes our skeletal system to move. This also protects support to other tissues, because the muscles, they cover up our bones and they form another layer of protection and isolation to the soft tissues. The muscles, they have high metabolic rate. With this high metabolic rate, the muscular system can generate heat to maintain our body temperature ideal. The nervous system is composed by our brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves, together with the sense organs, olfaction, vision, hearing, taste. And the functions of the nervous system is to direct our immediate response to any external stimuli. The brain, the nervous system, it coordinates and moderates the function of other organ systems, besides providing and interpreting all the sensory information received from the outside world. Our endocrine system is composed for some major organs, and these major organs are the pituitary, the thyroid, and our adrenal glands. We also have, as part of the endocrine system, our pancreas and our gonads. The gonads, they produce hormones and gametes. We also have some endocrine tissues in other systems, and we will see around chapter 17. The functions of the endocrine system is to direct all the long-term changes that needs to be caused in the other system. Is a regulation. The endocrine system is going to adjust the metabolic activity and control the energy used by the body. It also controls several other structural and functional changes that might occur during our body development. The cardiovascular system, most of you guys might be familiar. Cardio's heart, vascular is the basis. Okay? And the major organs are the heart, the blood is an organ as well, the blood vessels, and all these three working together, they distribute these blood cells, water, nutrients, and they remove waste, oxygen, they release, they carry um, blood rich in oxygen, and they remove the carbon dioxide present in the venal blood circulation. The cardiovascular system also helps with the heat distribution to control the body temperature. This is a system that we don't talk very much, but you are going to study the lymphatic system better in AP2, but lymphatic system is where we have our lymph and the lymph nodes. So the organs that compose are the spleen, the thymus, the lymphatic vessels, the lymph nodes, our tonsils that most of the kids remove. Not that the tonsils don't have use, but sometimes it's much easier to remove the tonsils than treat the infection. But the problem is when you remove the tonsils, you solve the issue of sore throat because of the tonsils, but might cause um, inner infection because the tonsils they act as a front line. So it's one of the first organs to identify an infection. And when you don't have the tonsils anymore, you're going to have infection in somewhere else. And the functions of the lymphatic system is to defend against infections and diseases. So the lymphatic system is our front line of defense. And also it returns fluid to the tissue. It collects fluid from the bloodstream and returns this to the tissue. Oh, it collects liquid from the tissues and returns this liquid to the bloodstream. Our respiratory system with the major organs, nasal cavities, sinuses, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and alveoli, and the functions of our respiratory system, they are to deliver air to the alveoli that are the tiniest. So our alveoli, we have the bronchi, and we have these things that look like grapes that are very, very small. And we have some tiny things between the membranes that where the gas exchange occurs. So it delivers the air to the alveoli. That is, you want to realize the gas exchange. It provides oxygen to the bloodstream and removes the carbon dioxide from the bloodstream because our red blood cells, they are very, very crazy about CO2. So they bind very easy. But when we have too much CO2 in the bloodstream, the blood becomes extremely acidic, and this is toxic, can cause death. So the function of the respiratory system is also to remove this carbon dioxide from our bloodstream. And it produces sounds for our communication because the passage of the air in our lungs, the vibration of the air to our larynx, trachea, helps with the production of sound that's essential for communication. We have the digestive system with the major organs, teeth, tongue, pharynx, esophagus. I'm not going to tell all of them, but the functions of the digestive system is to process and digest food. The digestion starts in our mouth and ends in our intestines when nothing else can be absorbed anymore. Our digestive system absorbs the nutrients, it stores energy reserves as glycogen, and releases the waste. The urinary tract, the urinary system, It's composed mainly by the kidneys, the bladder, the urethra. The functions are to excrete the waste from our blood, things that we don't need anymore that are toxic for our body. They are eliminated by the urinary system. The urinary system also controls the water balance, regulating the amount of water that is circulating and the amount of water that's released as urine. Our urinary system is able to store the urine prior to voluntary elimination. So we have part of the system that is voluntary and part that's involuntary. We can't control the production of urine, but we can control when you go to the potty. And this helps to regulate the blood ion concentrations because our blood is filtered by our kidneys. And there we're gonna remove all this excess of ions, and this is gonna balance the pH of our blood. And we have the reproductive systems that have as main functions hormone production and um, gametes production. So in males, we have the production of sperm and the seminal fluids besides the hormones. And in the females, we have the production of the oocytes and also the female hormones. And the female reproductive system also provides a place for the embryo to develop and produces milk that is going to be the main food for the newborn baby. So I'm stopping here now, and the next video will start with medical terminology.